I'm Margaret in Windsor this morning early. I'm watching the news and just had some coffee. And of course, part of this is local news, so it's telling about Northam, Governor of Virginia Northam, and Lieutenant Governor Fairfax, and then they didn't mention State's Attorney Mark Herring. But anyway, it's been this about the yearbooks, and the yearbook having Northam dressed in something that they're saying or that is indicative of a black slur or something. Uh, and then Fairfax is accused of assaulting two women, sexual assault. And Mark Herring just stepped up to the plate and said years ago in his background he might have worn something or. Whole thing is they don't want to. I'm not talking about here in Virginia. I've lived here, and it would have been probably, I'll go ahead and say it, worse had I lived in any other state. This is a Commonwealth state, and it's been bad enough for me. Horrible. It was horrible in Huntsville, Alabama, and horrible in Atlanta. I don't know the places I've lived, not that many where it wasn't bad. Uh, I mean, horrible. I didn't live in that many places, but for a brief period of time, I lived in a couple of other places back then. Um, the one thing is beyond me. It's like I don't exist. Let's just pretend that we don't know her, we don't talk about her. That's what Elizabeth and Diana was told. Diana even said when she was showing someone the well, anyway, around that they were told not to talk about. My dad is who they were told not. Like he's the scum of the earth when it's them that scum of the earth. How dare you, pack of thieves? But there's a lot more I could go in and say. I'm saying this because so much happened to me being kidnapped and brought over here when I was 2 years old, and the horrific things done to me by that family, besides taking my name and giving me a dead person's name, a twin to Carl. Peggy and Carl were both killed by Lionel Dempsey, so that tells you what the family was like a little. And by the way, the old man, Dempsey, he raped his daughters, so there you go. I'd go out, I don't care how cold it was if I could. I remember him coming in the door and I'd go out the other one. I mean, something just stay away from it, out of his way. Sick bunch. Anyway, it's the other things I've told about. And they certainly don't want it told now that it was done to me and done to some other people, a 12-year-old girl. God knows who else. Then another one was pregnant. When I got the letter from the FBI in July, she was trying to, well, I'm not even going to say it, because she was a teenager and she was supposedly pregnant. So I'm not even, I don't even know her name now, but you've got this back in backgrounds of people that are supposed to, and I get in trouble with this, that are medical doctors, okay? You don't dare say that. That they have participated. So I guess I'm babbling here. I don't know where my children are. It's who they are that the reason all this happened is who we are. My father's Edward VIII, and I'm not going to go into that again. Except he never married Wallace Simpson. He was married to my beautiful mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, a school teacher from Madison, Wisconsin, sister to artist George O'Keefe. Archbishop of Canterbury didn't approve of my mom, I suppose because she wasn't, and I don't know if she changed or what. the Church of England, Winston Churchill. There's so much that sorry sot, low down human being, and Eisenhower and Truman and Nixon and Kennedy. Yet these people, with all the information that I have provided, history would prove it, but any fool could go back in it and check out just a little. Not just that Larry Flynn endorsed me in Hustler magazine and the campaign. I think that was more of them to get attention and say, here, she's telling you the truth. Now I lost my train of thought. They know I'm telling the truth. Some people come forth and they have given me the thumbs up on, of course they believe it, and they have stuck in there and wishing me luck and all that, giving me moral support. And it's what is going on here in Virginia, though. I mean, they're going to go around, and now then Al Sharpton stuck his nose in all this. That there's supposed to be prejudice and what in the H-E, spell it, are you thinking? You're thinking none of this is ever going to be told. If it does, it's not going to matter or anything, but just don't tell it and that you're safe. You got Al Sharpton, you got Jesse Jackson, lives in Atlanta. Al Sharpton, I don't know where he lives. He's been all over the place. He's been here during this stuff with the governor and lieutenant governor and state's attorney. And my God, if you are going to compare what you consider a racial slur with one moment of my life, and the blacks were very much a part of it, as much as I was and am for equal rights. They also did this to me. They helped take every right away from me and my children and help cover it up. They do not want this told, because you get into mind control murders and using the mental health system to circumvent the law. I guess that's another good word for it, because when you lock someone up, like James Holmes of the Aurora, Colorado, he didn't have a choice. He didn't even know he was going to do it. It was laid out, and mind control was used on him without his knowledge or okay. His civil rights were certainly destroyed when that was done to him. Now he's in a mental health, or was, if he's still alive, facility, being given psychotic drugs. At times some of these people who call me names, I think, well, maybe they should take them in and give them a dose of what they're taking up for, because it is not mental illness. And mental illness needs a good look at, too, what's being done to them when people can use the psychotic drugs they use, and this is being used on mind control victims, too, to bypass the law and tell about mind control, the school shootings, the deaths that happened at Redstone Arsenal, people working for the government there, and God knows if it was done there. You get into, the cover-up of using mind control. And there's been actors, I wanted to get this in, and actresses murdered in it too, using it. It's invisible, and it's basically hard to prove, except doctors would know it. You haven't had one speak out. I did want to get this in because Martin Luther King, Andrew Young, they partnered with JFK on this what I'm talking about, how you use mental health to get away with crimes like mind control. And yes, they knew about me all the way to take down the British Empire and take down in South Africa, and remember President, and I've forgotten his name right at the moment, in South Africa. Look at all the things that happened. And, I can see where the people of South Africa would think they were on their side, being nice to. Believe me, they're not. They are the United Nations and the Illuminati, the end times. So they're not. They're using you, and the AIDS and the. It's upsetting. Okay, but Martin Luther King, of course, was shot by a program shooter. He knew all of this. His wife did. I've told this many times about Coretta Scott King, and I guess it was late, I know it was, of 82 there in Atlanta. And then you got Andrew Young was mayor at that time. I went in there. So they all knew about this. And it's been covered up. You got Sessions of Alabama was Trump made him Attorney General. Okay, he certainly knew, and I had hoped he would say something about it. All the crimes and about my being kidnapped and the torture done to me and my sons. He didn't. All these years, everybody's had a chance. Now you've got Selby up there. He's Democrat from Alabama. He certainly knows. I wrote him letters back, 2000 and what? Can't remember now. Well, they know anyway. I mean, this has been a cover-up of I don't know, another one that's like this, what they've done with my dad and mom and making in World War II and mind control murders and all this. Now, I did want to mention this, though. Al Sharpton, my God, he's sticking his nose in up here. You got the governor of Virginia going around being apologetic for what was supposedly considered a racial slur. Have in no respect. Oh, for God's sake, respect. What is respect? I've never had a moment of it really in my children, and everybody got in on it, and certainly Andrew Young. The NAACP didn't come to my rescue or help me at all. Civil rights didn't. Now I want to get to this. Northam has said he's not going to resign. And he's even going to African, I hope I say this right, for God's sake. Nobody's put the camera on me to tell the truth. It is so horrific. Anyway. He's going around and apologizing and trying to say they'll make everything better for the. Well, my God, please do me a favor. Next time you turn your television on or anything, look at how many, who, or what you see. That's all I'm going to say. Coming from me, with all they've done to me, I have no rights to, okay, point this out to you in case you're not noticing. Anyway, Governor Northam is going to this black college, and some black men, see, you have to edit everything you say. African American, after what everybody stood by and done to me, and certainly they were a part of it. I have to edit it? My God. Anyway, it's a college here that's way back, and he's going to go, governor is, and around the state and see if he can improve race relations. It's gotten to where, what if a black person begins slurring, and there was a TV program I watched on, it was Channel 5, I forgot what it's, CNW, I think is what it was on. Actually, I enjoyed the program, but they let the blacks on there. The one that produced it was a black man. I've forgotten his name, but it had Anderson. His last name's Anderson. It had some people on there. I thought, well, good. It was funny. What? I forgot the name of it. They took it off. But people laughed at it. You had the few whites on there, and they would laugh at the joke too. If you had said that about a black person, you would have had hell to pay. Look at what's going on here now. You don't hear them telling about me. Not one thing the Illuminati control press or anybody else. They're focusing on that. My God, they do not want it told. And I got to tell you, it's way, way past late. Now, Al Sharpton was telling, he's got to weigh in on all this bounce around, that no, Northam shouldn't be allowed to blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to go with something else that concerned me. Anyway, what else? Oh, I wanted to get this in case this is still going up. About time, I guess. You've got Clooney. His wife had twins, he and his wife, actor. I'm blanking his name out. I happen to do that when I don't like someone. Okay, Clooney's so popular, married this lady. Oh, God, I'll have everybody because I told the truth. I believe she's a citizen or was of Italy. Okay, she's a great civil rights activist and lawyer and all this. She's popular. Okay, isn't it strange with all my life and what I've done on YouTube, Facebook, you would think that it would have filtered through to Clooney and some of these people who I've never had a word from or anything. Anyway, he came out last night, was on the news. He was on network news too, and I don't know if it's Entertainment Tonight also, but anyway, by the way, I like that program. I like her. She's a pretty lady. But anyway, somebody say, are you trying to get coverage here? No, she really is a cute, pretty lady. Anyway, I forgot what. Oh, Clooney. He was invited to the, quote, royal wedding. There was no royal wedding. You have to be royal to have a royal wedding. She had all the pump. She had the news media. Her father couldn't be there, blah, blah, blah. Her mom was flown over and went to the castle, went to my home. And this hullabaloo. My dad's the real king, my mom the real queen, and I'm the real monarch. And you're talking about the royal family. He's taken up for Meghan Markle. Supposedly she's getting good press or bad press, and they're treating her just like they treated Diana. Well, Diana was a fraud. I'm almost afraid to say it because people loved her so much. The woman flounced it around. Is that a good word? The wealth that wasn't her charity that she sold gowns and made her look good. And Henry Kissinger, the man, if you ever see what he had on the Watergate sliced tapes ordering done to me out of the White House, Richard Nixon by his side. He was with her. I'm going to have to hurry. In D.C., I've put this up before some years back during that charity, the gown charity and all that. And he said to her, he thought she should be queen. So you got the Illuminati, the Jews, Illuminati, some of my own family, and this is going to go off. I'm going blank. The Kennedys saying who can be the monarch. And he said to her that he thought she should be Queen Diana, and here she is in her gowns and everybody, she's being so pretty and all the jewels and charity and the gowns going to charity when it was stolen from me. Now, and people love, they've been taken. Now then, he said to her that let me get this right, it's more than just in this article, you can Google it. To him, the